Hello, everyone, and welcome to TPC Sports Game Time, TPCFL Season 7, Week 3, Raiders, Vikings. My name's Meter, and I'm joined in the booth today by none other than your league owner, the man you love to love, Brian Langell. How's it going today, Langell?
Meter, I am absolutely fantastic. This is a game when I saw the schedule being put together that I wanted to see, and we are here to call it live. Week 3, Vikings, Raiders.
I could not agree more. This is going to be a fierce game. We have Kiv Style, the two-time TPCFL champion, the only guy to ever win it twice, let alone the only one to ever win it back-to-back, taking on Whitefish, who in his inaugural year went undefeated and sat out the last season, but is back with the Oakland Raiders and has been tearing it up right out of the gate. I'm really excited to see how this one goes here today.
We've got the experience of Kivstyle, who's been here for 7 seasons. Whitefish, as you said, played 1 season, but is very good at Madden outside of TPCFL. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in this one.
It definitely will. Kiv, starting with the ball, has run a couple of plays now, and we pick it up at 3rd and 4 from the 34. A little throw out to the left side. This one bounces off the hands of the defense. Very dangerous there. And we have a 3 and out for Kiv to start this one. Oakland with some very strong defense right out of the gate.
Oakland is known for their defense. In the league power rankings, they are currently sitting number 1 overall in the league. They seem to be the best at almost everything. So Kiv's going to have his work cut out for him. But when you look at Minnesota and their power rankings, I mean, their loss last week to Green Bay didn't help them much, but they are still trying to find them here. They're quite down the list, actually. They are number 9. So they're still in the top 10. So this is definitely a top 10 matchup on both sides of the field.
And with the league continuing to grow and continuing to get stronger and stronger with very good competition out there, it's going to be hard to stay in that top 10. So not a huge surprise to see Kiv in the top 10. I'll always expect to see him in the top 10. But after today, he could jump up huge if he's able to make a good game here against number 1 Oakland.
Agreed. Knocking Oakland off would definitely be a huge boost in those power rankings.
All right, Oakland now in a 3rd and 11 situation after a failed run attempt for a loss of 1 and then a failed pass that was swatted out of the air. Now 3rd and 11, Carr alone in the backfield in the shotgun. A lot of guys on that offensive line. The snap, dropping back behind the 20, thrown over the middle, deep to the right side. It's up in the air, bouncing, and it falls harmlessly to the ground. Incomplete, and Oakland matches Minnesota on a 3 and out.
What a defensive showing by Minnesota to start this game.
It feels like the feeling out process is what's happening right now.
Yeah, these are 2 owners that never played each other before. They've seen each other, but they never played each other. So this is a first-time matchup, and like you said, feeling them out is probably going to be the main priority for both coaches right now to find out, where they can exploit and where they can find weaknesses.
Really exciting. 1st and 10 now after the punt. Sets him up on the 26-yard line. Handoff. Trying to get out to the left side, and Cook bouncing off his own guy and taken down pretty quickly. A pickup of 3. His best run of the night, and actually the best run of the night so far.
Well, if 3 yards are your best run, there's definitely room for improvement. But going in the right direction is always important here in TPCFL.
Cousins directly behind the center, 1 out wide on either side and 2 in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff right up the middle. Cook pushing forward and taken down at the 30. A little pickup, 1 yard on that one. 3rd and 6.
Minnesota is known for staying on the ground, which I think is going to benefit them as far as turnovers go. But they need to find a way to gain yards to get these first downs. 3 and outs are not going to help them.
That is true. I formation snap. Cousins over the center, blocked and swatted out of the air. More great defense by the Raiders. And once again, Minnesota going to have to give this ball right back to Oakland.
I just think Kiv missed that. Number 19 for the Vikings was wide open. He threw past him to get to another player. Sometimes in the heat of battle, you miss what's in front of you. It's like the forest through the trees. But, overall, I trust Kiv and his decision making.
Richards stops on a dime on the return. Had some great blocking downfield, moving the ball to the 34. Going to start with some pretty good field positioning here.
Yeah, starting on the 34 is definitely a benefit to Oakland. We'll see whether or not the defense of Minnesota can stand tall on this. And they do.
Handoff trying to go to the left side and just swallowed whole. There were 3 Vikings there, and they stuff him for a loss of 3. Gideon coming up with the tackle there.
What's impressive about this is, and a lot of people may not notice or realize that Minnesota is the #1 team defensively in league history.
Wow.
So gaining yards against Minnesota is not going to be an easy task.
Throw over to the left side. This one's caught. Williams getting up past the first down line and then some. Knocked out of bounds at the 40, but giant gain there for Carr, 29 yards.
And just as I was saying something, you can wipe that from the record.
Call it the announcer's curse.
Exactly, but statistically speaking, there's no team better in league history than the Minnesota Vikings.
Carr directly behind the center now. Takes the snap, handoff right up the middle, getting great block. He's got all sorts of room. No one's going to catch him. That's a touchdown, Oakland, and 6 points go on the board.
I am going to refuse to speak about Minnesota's defensive skills for the rest of this game, Meter. I apologize.
That was outstanding offense by Oakland. They were 3 and out at first. This time got good field positioning. Went 3 plays, 66 yards in less than a minute. And that is the quick strike ability we know from Oakland, from Whitefish.
Definitely. So now it's going to be a case of whether or not Minnesota can match it and then take the lead from it.
Kicking this one into the end zone. It's going to be brought out to the 24-yard line. They'll have 1 yard less than if they had just taken a knee, plus a little bit less breath as well.
Yeah, it came up short on that one, but at least they weren't further back. So we'll take it as not as a win, but not as a loss.
Fair enough. Oakland with a 7-point lead now on defense. Minnesota searching for a play. 2:04 left here in the first. Shift from the defense. Cousins takes the snap, drops back to the 20, rolling out to the right side, takes off. He's got some room, dives out of bounds and fumbles the ball, and it falls harmlessly out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6. What a dangerous play.
That was incredibly dangerous, but luckily the ball fell out of bounds before the Raiders could pick it up.
Dangerous for a couple of reasons. The dive, dangerous to your quarterback, and dangerous to losing the ball. Same formation now. Cousins with a handoff leveled right at the line. Moves the ball to the 32, 3rd and 3.
This defense of the Raiders is stifling Minnesota right now.
It really is. They desperately need a first down here to keep this drive moving forward, keep their momentum, and get back the points that the defense for Minnesota just unfortunately gave up.
Let's see how they do here on 3rd down.
Thielen Diggs way out to the left.
Right.
Cousins with the snap, handoff fake, throw over the middle. This one's caught. Diggs brings it all the way to the 47-yard line. What a giant pickup there, 22 yards.
To quote the coach of the Vikings, Diggsy, baby.
1 out wide on either side now. 1 in the backfield. Offensive line strong and channel to the right side. Lateral out to the right. Trying to get some room. Cook shakes off a tackle and is dragged down tooth and nail at the 43-yard line. 4-yard pickup and every yard earned.
For sure, it looked as though that was almost moving in slow motion. But Cook was able to pick up 4 yards and keep those Vikings moving towards that end zone.
Shout out in chat, Colbus with a host, Slangel with a host, Shane with a host. Very much appreciated, and thank you all for joining us here today. Batgirl representing. Rockman, of course, is here as well. We have a huge showing from the league, and Batgirl dropping a host on top of it.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting the league and tuning in for this game.
Minnesota
Vikings and the Raiders.
With a failed pass now, rolling out to the right side. This one caught over the head of the defense, tripped up by the bootstraps, but he makes the damage known and moves the ball right outside the red zone, the 20-yard line, right on the fringe.
It's weird, Meter, because Oakland figured out Minnesota's defense on the last drive, and now it seems as though the tables have turned and Minnesota's figured out Oakland's defense.
It seems that way, getting the running game going. You said it. That's a huge part of Minnesota's game. And when they've broken into that, now they're moving the ball nicely. Another run there picks up 5. I formation now, one wide on either side. Handoff fake, rolling out to the right, throwing over the middle. This one's caught and stopped at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in, so you're going to have to knock again there, Kiv. But you were on the 1-yard line, sir. Deep
in the red zone, deep in the red hot zone, the 1-yard line. I formation, handoff, wide open, touchdown Vikings.
Just like that, the Vikings give up 7 points, get the ball, and earn 7 of their own. We are tied again, Meter. Back to step 1, back to ground 0.
Or, as Bama would say, 6 points, extra point pending.
That is true. I got a little ahead of myself here.
And there it is.
Now we're tied.
Like clockwork, right down the middle, because that's how clocks work. Second quarter now, 5:07 on the clock. Minnesota about to get the ball back to Oakland, looking for a big stop here in Oakland, of course. Looking to extend and pick up that lead again. Kicked about midway through the end zone. This one being brought back out. There's the 20-yard line, swallowed up at the 23 and falling down. They'll give him it at the 24, which is where they'll begin their drive.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not the Raiders can continue their success from their last drive or whether or not Minnesota is going to be able to adapt. This game is like a chess match. It's just back and forth.
It very, very much is. Carr directly behind the center takes the snap, handoff, trying to get out to the left side. Some great running. Found the hole and moved it down to the 31-yard line.
Gaining 8 yards on that play. Good start for the Raiders.
It is 2nd and 2 now.
Slangel in chat just pointed out that this weekend the clocks actually spring forward. So time change coming for all our North American friends this Saturday night at 2 a.m.
Carr with a handoff, has all sorts of room. Jacobs gets to the outside. One guy to get past, and he's taken down. He had some great blocking there, and what a pickup to extend their rushing yards now to 66 total yards and move the ball to the opposite side of the field, the 46-yard line now.
Great run by the Raiders.
Handoff fake, Carr rolling out to the left. He has a guy. There it is. Shades of Russell Wilson. A beautiful pass, and that is a deep, deep first down. Moved them all the way to the 13-yard line, and they have penetrated the red zone again.
They are definitely on the move right now, and they're changing it up between on the ground and through the air, leaving Minnesota kind of guessing as to what's coming next.
Handoff, this time on the ground. Stood up at the 10. Second down, 7 yards to go. 3.5 left here in the second. All the timeouts on the table for everybody. Still a whole lot of game left to play in this half, let alone the second half. Carr, quick throw to the left side. Williams has it, and he walks it in. There's a touchdown. Raiders.
Oakland marching down the field without really any hesitation at all. Puts 6 more points on the board, and that makes it 7. That was an explosive run by the Raiders to take the lead, 14-7.
Very, very well done, Oakland. I think you said it best. Seemed kind of uncontested there. Their initial 3 and out was all I've seen from Minnesota's defense being able to stop them.
Yeah, they're going to have to turn this around relatively quickly because if Oakland forces them out and then scores again and gets the ball back to start the second half, it's going to be a very, very, steep hill to climb for the Vikings. So they have to be able to score here and have to be able to hold them off from scoring to go into the locker room tied.
Minnesota with a handoff after the run out from inside the end zone puts him on the 24. Picks up 4, 2nd and 6.
4 yards on that first play. Looks like Minnesota continuing to stay on the ground.
One out wide on either side. One in the backfield. Cousins directly behind the center. Takes the snap. Handoff to the right side. He's got some room. He's got a whole bunch of room. And Cook picks it up to the 48, just behind the half line right now. And a first down for Minnesota.
I just noticed there that Whitefish user-controlled one of his linebackers and missed the tackle, and that's what created the opening for Minnesota.
Handoff, trying to get out to the left side, trips over his own guy, and gets taken down at the 50, a 2-yard gain. Not quite what they were looking for there, but still something.
Well, as long as they're continuing to move forward, but there's the 2-minute warning. Minnesota taking advantage of mistakes that they failed to capitalize on earlier, and down the field. They still have 2 minutes to play. I would time this in a way that leaves Oakland very little time left on the clock, though.
Cousins, fake handoff, rolls out to the right, a little hop, shakes off a tackle and falls down at the 42. What a fight to move him to 3rd and inches.
What a move by Cousins. I thought he would have taken the dive there or the slide to avoid the tackle, but no. He went straight in there. Risky play, but it worked out.
It pays to have a big, big quarterback, and there you see why. Hard to take him down. I formation now, pinch from the defense, expecting a run, handoff, wide open, there's a first down.
Great move by Cook, gaining that first down. Clock's still dropping at 1 minute, 17 seconds and falling. 39-yard line. They're almost in field goal range, but I don't think they want 3 points. They want the full 7 if they can get it.
Handoff now out to the left side and taken down pretty quickly at the 35. That's going to pick up a 4. The clock's still ticking.
Yeah, I'd say Minnesota needs to start taking advantage of timeouts. I know I've said it 100 times before, but you can't take them with you into the locker room. They're there for a reason.
Handoff fake, rolling out to the right, throwing, and this one, great defense, swats it out of his hand.
Looks like he was coming down with it and then lost it at the last second.
That's exactly what happened. And they were fighting over that one. Now, I believe Kiv was doing exactly as you had suggested, trying to kill some time so that Oakland wouldn't have any time once Kiv scores, but the danger there is to kill too much time, not have enough to score yourself.
Agreed. Oh!
Cousins rolling out to the left, tries to get the throw off and can't. Timeout Oakland, 4th and 8 now.
The one player for the Vikings, tagged by the letter X, was wide open. I thought Kid was waiting to get the ball to him, but was running upfield instead. He had success with Cousins doing that earlier, but unfortunately this time got squashed, and now they have to settle for a field goal.
And they get the field goal right down the middle. And good on Oakland for recognizing that they were going to be getting the ball back, calling that timeout, now leaving them with 24 seconds and 2 timeouts against a Minnesota defense that hasn't been able to stop them.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of time on the clock based on what we've seen the Raiders do so far. So,
and the Raiders
Minnesota
refusing to touch that ball as it bounces in the end zone and lets them start from the 25-yard line.
Smart play by the Raiders.
No time comes off the clock because of it. Handoff now. Jacobs gets to the outside, getting some great blocking. Beautiful move. Oh, my God. Jacobs stops instantly and dinks around the guy and moves the ball all the way to the 37 and falls out of bounds to stop the clock in 15 seconds and preserve their 2 timeouts.
That's stopping dead cold and then moving again is going to be something that a lot of people in the league are going to pick up and start using because that's incredibly successful right now.
All right, Carr sends a man in the backfield out to the right side. Now he's got 1 wide on either side, 1 in the backfield, and the offensive line strong and trailing to the right side. The snap, Carr throwing over to the left. This one's caught. Missed tackle and taken down at the 7-yard line with 9 seconds left on the clock. Timeout, Oakland.
That is what is so scary about Oakland. They had only 26 seconds on the clock, and now with 10 seconds left in the quarter, they are standing on the 7-yard line.
Carr directing traffic here, 2 to the left, sending 1 out to the right. Offensive line strong and trailing to the right side. Carr with the snap, dropping back, throwing over the middle. This one is caught and held, feet in bounds. 6 points, Raiders. Wow, they made that look easy.
They really did. Again, less than 30 seconds on the clock, and they still have 4 seconds to play with. And now they are up by 11 points going into the half.
3 plays, 75 yards. They had 24 seconds when they got the ball originally. It took them 20 seconds to score those points.
Yeah, that's some explosive offense right there.
Oh,
Wait a second.
Squib kick results in a huge return. He's bringing it to the 10, the 5, and a touchdown, Minnesota, with no time left on the clock. The Oakland tries the squib kick to force them to run out the clock on a return, and instead they get it all the way back and score 7 points. What a game changer to end the half in Langell. There is still 2 more quarters to play.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to see how this turns out now. That is a huge momentum change for the Minnesota Vikings.
A 4-point separates these guys now. Minnesota kicks it to Oakland halfway through the end zone. It's going to be a return. There's the 10. A little bit of movement and knocked down at the 20. And that is a failure in the eyes of any coach to not at least get it back to the 25.
This is what I'm saying. The Minnesota Vikings have a momentum run right now. It's going to be difficult for the Raiders to come back from that. They're going to have to do something huge here to get those points back immediately.
Carr with a handoff. Jacobs gets to the outside, picks up a first, taken out at the 31. 8 rushes, 119 yards.
Yeah, that is deadly numbers right there. That is absolutely deadly numbers.
Directly behind us. Go ahead.
We're going to bring up some league history now between these two teams. The Raiders haven't been known for their success in the league. In fact, their away record is 16-32-0, which is ranking 30th overall in the history of the league. The Vikings' home record, on the other hand, are 49-0, which is 2nd overall in league history. So if you're going to running on those stat numbers, it's a complete mismatch, but this game is as close as it could possibly be right now.
Oh, and a huge sack. He shakes his tackles, gets all the way in, and Hunter takes down Carr for a loss of 10 and setting him up on a 3rd and 20 all the way back at the 21-yard line.
This is absolutely incredible right now. The Vikings rebounding in every statistic category possible.
Carr, handoff fake, looking, throwing over to the left side, rushed as Hunter comes in, and this one falls very short. Incomplete, sets up a 4th and 20, and they're going to punt this ball away. Minnesota with a pivotal stop.
That's the 3-and-out that the Vikings started the first quarter with, and now they're starting the 3rd quarter with it as well. Keeping Oakland completely stifled right now, and now they have the ball back and a lot of time to work.
And the ball on the 39 after that punt brings it in front of the 20 and gets brought all the way back to the 39. A great opportunity for Minnesota here.
Incredible.
The
Vikings.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. You call it. I'll do it in the next play.
Handoff has tons of room, breaks through everybody and brings it all the way to the 45, breaking the opposite side of the field and setting them up for a huge opportunity here as they head into Oakland territory.
I was going to mention the Vikings on turf lifetime are 55-14-0. The Raiders are 3-6.
And I would assume that this stadium is turf then.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, definitely.
Handoff, trying to push up the middle, and a loss of 2 is what they get for their trouble. No go this time.
No go this time, but they can't get discouraged. They're having a lot of success right now. Just keep the nose to the grindstone and keep on moving forward. I mentioned earlier, Mita, that the Vikings were the top defensive team in league history. In their history, they have scored 961 more points than what they've given up. That's an absolutely ludicrous number.
Cousins takes off out to the right side and picks up some good yardage.
Definitely. And the Raiders, on the other hand, are second worst in that category, having given up 589 more points than what they've scored.
Wow. Not the type of deficit you want to see on your score sheet.
No, not at all. But we are under new management now, so I'm sure that's going to make a substantial difference.
Cousins throws over the middle. This one's caught. The big tight end Rudolph coming up with that one. They beat the blitz with a quick pass. Well done.
I just cannot get over how Minnesota has turned this game around. It's like they flipped a switch, and now suddenly they have Oakland reeling as they not only stop them offensively, but now moving down the field and beating their defense as well.
And 2 out to the left. 2 in the backfield, pinched by the defense. Cousins with a handoff and is taken down at the 29. A pickup of 1, loss of 1, my apologies.
No problem, no problem. And yeah, 2nd and 11, but it's interesting. Kiv and the Vikings have eaten up most of the time in this quarter. They're ticking that clock down, draining it. It's Kiv's no. Oh no!
Intercepted by Worley. Bad throw into triple coverage and the easy interception. Oakland now has the ball and stops the momentum of Minnesota instantly.
Oakland with that interception, just as Minnesota, I was saying, is moving down the field great. Again, I got to stop complimenting the Vikings because every time I do, something goes horribly wrong.
Jacobs with that same handoff we've seen. It's a beautiful little move. Looks like he's going to head right up the middle and then cuts very quickly over to the left side and gets out to that sideline this time. Minnesota reads it, cuts him off, and he only picks up 1, 2nd and 9. Handoff fake, throws out to the left side quickly. There's a first down. I believe that was an option play there. And well done, too.
Minnesota now reeling a little bit, trying to hold Oakland back. That interception is definitely going to be game-changing because even if they would have had a field goal, at least they would have been down by 1 point. Right now, they have to stop Oakland without scoring and come back down and get points again.
Carr, handoff, missed tackle. Jacobs has a lot of room. Gets out to the sideline, another missed tackle. Stutter steps and is taken out at the 38. They move it from their own 37 to the opposite side of the field's 38 on another great run play that causes a huge shift in momentum. Carr now, another handoff. Jacobs weaving his way through traffic, finding holes, and picking up another first down.
They're breaking off chunks of offense here in 10 yards or more, consistently moving down this field.
1st and 10 from the 25. The snap. Carr drops back to the 30. Throws over the middle. This one's caught. He's got some room. Jukes through 2 guys and into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders.
That interception turns into 6 points, potentially 7. The Oakland Raiders, as a team, defensive interceptions league history, that is their 50th interception in league history.
And congratulations to the Raiders on that.
They're proving defensively that they can improve in that. Unfortunately, offensively in their life history, they've given up 117 interceptions, so a little misbalance there. But I have a feeling that Whitefish is going to be able to balance those numbers out given enough time.
Abdullah taking this one from inside the end zone out as far as he can, which is the 28-yard line. Some good speed there. Sets him up better than if they had taken the knee.
Yep, gain an extra 3 yards.
And Minnesota now with 34 seconds left here in the third needs to score big points on this drive in order to keep themselves in this game. Cousins handoff fake, throws this one deep. It's caught. Diggsy takes it down with him, and that's a first down on the 43-yard line, the other side of the 50.
Yeah, I don't think Oakland was even remotely suspecting that, and Kiev taking advantage of the defense and bombing it down the field.
Cook finds a gap and fills it. A beautiful cut move, and he's taken down by another guy from another angle. That'll end the third and set us up with a fresh 6 minutes of the final. 6 minutes of the game on the clock.
Yeah, so in chat here, we've got a live party going here. Don't go anywhere yet. This game is far from over. And thank you for joining us here on TPCFL Game Time right here with TPC Sports.
Hey, Langell, let's say I wanted to check out some of these fancy stats you're spitting out. Where might I go to see stats and standings and schedules?
Well, you've got two choices, Meter. You can either come visit me and we'll share a coffee and go over all of them in depth, because I've got spreadsheets all over this place.
That sounds expensive.
It does. Or for free, you can go to tpcfootball.com.
I love it. That's my homepage, and it should be yours too. And there's a link in chat, so check that out. Huge bomb downfield, moves the ball deep in the red zone, deep in the red hot zone, the 2-yard line, handoff right up the middle, falling forward and knocked down at the 1.
I thought he was going to have that.
No huddle by Minnesota. Cousins in the shotgun, calling an audible. 2nd and goal from the 1. The snap, rolling out to the right. Cousins is looking, and he's hit way back at the 7.
Still, 3rd and goal. They're there. They just need to time this perfectly.
3rd and goal from the 7. Cousins looking, being chased down, tries to throw the ball, and is hit way back at the 22 now. So instead of a chip shot, we have an opportunity at a 39-yard field goal, if that's what he chooses to do.
Minnesota taking the smart play and going for the points.
Looks like Oakland setting up for a possible fake, not even trying to block it with the lead they have. And the 3 points go up and make this an 8-point game. This is now a 1-score game, Langell.
It definitely is. Don't go anywhere. 4 minutes left in this game. You get the Vikings, the best defense in league history. They can stand tall here, get that ball back, and we could see some magic happen here. That's happened so many times before here at home for the Minnesota Vikings.
And this one bounces in the end zone. So this play will start at the 25. This drive, a big drive. Minnesota looking for a huge stop at Oakland, looking to try and put this one out of reach.
A touchdown would do that at this point.
Jacobs hit behind the line. A 3-yard loss.
If I'm Oakland, I'm keeping the ball on the ground as much as possible right now, though, to drain as much time as off the clock as possible and not risk getting intercepted.
Lateral out to the right side. Jacobs has some room. One guy to get past, and he jukes him and taken down at the 25. A lot of movement. It looked like he had a ton of room, but he only picked up 3 yards there.
Only 3. Great move by the Minnesota defense. They need to stand tall one more time here. Hold off Oakland from gaining 10 yards now, and then they can get that ball back.
Carr takes the snap from the shotgun, drops back, throws over the middle, and it's taken down, and there's the stop they needed. Taken down at the 33, 4th and 2. They're forced to punt this one away. Minnesota about to get their shot.
That was close. Minnesota only by 2 yards getting that stop, but it doesn't matter. The stop was made, and now as Oakland is letting that clock drop down as far as possible for making that kick, Minnesota can't risk giving up any of their timeouts. But they'll have roughly 2 minutes and 20 seconds here to make this happen.
And all of their timeouts. This punt to about the 10. Diggsy taking this one out, weaving around and taking it to the 27. A good 17-yard return. And it will set them up with some decent field positioning. They need 8 points here to tie this game.
Don't go anywhere. If you're on the edge of your seat, you're exactly where you need to be right now. This is TPCFL football. And how many times have we seen Kiv come back with fourth quarter victories? It's been a lot.
Bomb
plays
downfield
like
to the
this.
20, and it's intercepted by Oakland.
Wow. Cousins going for the long bomb, trying to score the points quick. Unfortunately, just in by inches in a better position and take over that ball. And now that's Minnesota's second turnover. And I'd have to suspect now that Oakland is going to drain as much time off that clock as possible.
And that'll take us to the timeout, Minnesota, with a 2-minute warning, 1 second away. Interesting call.
Yeah, I think that was just a moment of panicking on that one, trying to save the last 2 minutes. I know I'm going to be rattled out of my mind when I play Oakland later this season, so I can see that happening.
Throw over the middle, picks up a first down. 2-minute warning stops the clock at 1:57. But Oakland now with a fresh set of downs in Minnesota with 2 timeouts left to stop the clock. Handoff, pushing up the middle, taken down at the 37. A 5-yard pickup, timeout Minnesota at 1:52. 2nd and 5.
I'm assuming this is going to be on the ground as well.
Lateral out to the left side, taking his time, finding a gap, and falling forward at the 41. 3rd and 1 now, timeout Minnesota. Their final timeout, unable to stop the clock any longer. This is an absolutely huge play right now.
It is. Minnesota needs to bring everything they have right now to prevent that 1-yard gain. And they
QB
do
sneak
it.
attempt and stuffed at the line. 4th and inches. They're going to be able to kick off a little bit of the clock, but not a ton. Minnesota has no timeouts, so instead of having 3 timeouts on their drive like they would have had they not thrown that interception, they are now going to be in a very similar situation with no chance to stop the clock except to get out of bounds or incomplete passes.
They're going to have to try to throw to the sides to get outside. They can't try bombing it again. We saw what happened last time.
This kick at the 3-second mark, well done. Punted to the 1, Diggs forced to return this one out. Beautiful juke move to pick up some extra yards and move the ball to the 17. Bad field positioning, no timeouts. This is a Kiv scenario.
This definitely is a Kiv scenario. We've seen this multiple times before. The NFC Championship back in Season 2, I believe. He was on the 3-yard line with no time left and made it happen.
Interception again by Worley. Being returned, weaving through traffic. Everybody misses their tackles. Touchdown Oakland on a pick 6. And that, you gotta believe, puts it out of reach.
I would say so at this point. A 15-point spread with 49 seconds to go. I got to give credit. He didn't try bombing it down the field. It was just wrong place, wrong time, wrong throw. And now Oakland with a 15-point lead with 49 seconds to go. And I'm assuming now that Oakland's going to be able to basically force this game to be over because Minnesota has no timeouts.
Kicked into the end zone, being returned, taken down at the 22. And after such a fierce match, back-to-back interceptions after huge stops by Minnesota's defense, their offense giving the ball up twice. Cousins looking, bombing it over to the left. This one almost intercepted again. Lawson had no competition on that, but it bounced off his fingertips.
Kind of lucky that's how it harmlessly fell to the ground. But Minnesota, I got to give them, they're not giving up. They are going points to try to bring this as close as possible.
Cousins rolls out to the right, looks, bombs it down. 4 guys of his in the territory, bounces off everybody's fingertips and falls to the turf.
3rd and 10 with 33 seconds to go. Minnesota aiming for that end zone. Oakland realized it drops all their players back. Oh,
and sacked by Abram, controlled by Whitefish. He knew he was going deep. He couldn't give him time and took him out of the equation by making his way around the defender. 4th and 17 with 10 seconds and counting on the clock. This could be the final play of the game right here.
I'm assuming it will be. Look at the user control. Whitefish moving Abram back.
Throwing this one, swatted out of his hand to end the game. 35-20 is your score. Oakland remains undefeated this season, 3-0, and the Vikings fall to 1-2 after a fierce battle. Both of these guys should be very proud of this game. Very well done.
Definitely. You've got Kiv, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast is a two-time champion. So he's definitely highly skilled. I'm sure he's going to be disappointed in this presentation, but he'll be back, guaranteed. He'll be competing there in the NFC North and right in the thick of things as this season goes on. Oakland, still undefeated. And Whitefish now undefeated in league history. That is his 18th straight win in regular season matchups.
Huge game. We know it was going to be fierce. We knew both of these teams were going to come out fighting. We're going to be trying to figure each other out, and it looks like the offense of the Vikings just weren't able to get it done. They had a couple of missteps in the final moments of the fourth. They had two unique chances, two huge stops by the defense, and they weren't able to make anything happen with it.
So we won't see them match up again for roughly 4 seasons. So kind of like every time there's a Halley's Comet, eventually you'll be able to come back and see the Vikings and the Raiders. But that just makes it that much more exciting because it doesn't happen on a regular basis.
It does indeed, and man, am I excited to see that again. For everybody out there watching, tomorrow we have some more games. Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock, we have some TPCHL action, and 8 o'clock, another TPCFL game. Langell and I will both be there calling those games, so we definitely look forward to talking to you guys then. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and thank you, Langell, for joining me in the booth here today.
Always, Meter. Always look forward to it. It's a great time every time you and I team up for a game.
I could not agree more. Head on over to tpcfootball.com. And, of course, if you haven't dropped that subscribe, that follow, do so now. For everyone here at the TPC Sports Studio, TPC Sports Broadcast, my name's Meter. I've been joined in the booth by Langell, and I hope you all have an outstanding rest of your night.